Hey, yo, E-King Fight News, y'all know what it is. Smash that like button and subscribe. Eddie Hearn, who recently had to say that this Luis Ortiz fight is a very high-risk situation for Deontay Wilder, and basically criticized Deontay Wilder taking this kind of an opponent. Well, Lou Dibella had his own response for Eddie Hearn, and he basically said, you know what, Eddie? You didn't want no parts of Luis Ortiz. Lou Dibella saying, you know what, Eddie Hearn, you ducked Luis Ortiz. So how about that? Yeah, absolutely. And if you consider, Deontay Wilder was the mandatory challenger for Anthony Joshua. If you didn't know, he was rated very high with the WBA. In fact, he had mandatory position to face Anthony Joshua. But at the same time, Deontay Wilder, I believe he had a high position on the WBC side as well. And he was in a situation where, Anthony Joshua had a deadline to basically try and negotiate and make a Luis Ortiz fight. But at the end of all that, somehow Luis Ortiz ended up saying, you know what, I'll fight Deontay Wilder. I'm going to knock this guy out. And, fast forward a couple months, he tests positive, and everything fucking changed. I mean, like, the whole fight card had to be switched. They brought in Bermane Stiverne, who was actually Deontay Wilder's mandatory. So Luis Ortiz was just in talks for the Deontay Wilder showdown. And somehow, I think Wilder basically said, you know what, fuck it, I'll make that fight happen. And it was going to happen. That was a fight that was supposed to happen. But anyways, going forward, I've told this story before in terms of how Luis Ortiz was basically removed from the WBA's rankings, even though he didn't test positive on a WBA sanctioned fight. They still found the need to remove him completely for testing positive. And Eddie Hearn has this great excuse not to fight. It's like all his dreams came true. He didn't have to fight no Luis Ortiz, man. King Kong was removed from the doorsteps. And that's that political side of boxing. I mean, it's not uncommon for a promoter and a sanctioning body to have a tight-knit relationship. And if you look at it, I would not be surprised if Eddie Hearn and the WBA, had something going on where pretty much he didn't want that fight at all. I mean, I think Anthony Joshua on his list of opponents, I think Luis Ortiz is lower on that list than Deontay Wilder. That shows you how much they did not want to get in the ring with a Luis Ortiz. And absolutely, you know what? The ultimate proof of this is Luis Ortiz used to be promoted by guess who? Guess who signed Luis Ortiz a couple years ago? It was Eddie Hearn, who signed him when he became a free agent and he decided to leave Golden Boy. He was signed up by Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn has a great fighter in Luis Ortiz under his belt, getting some good wins. And he's got a great prospect in Anthony Joshua. And did he make that sort of marquee matchup between this veteran fighter trying to make a name for himself in Luis Ortiz and this young, hungry Anthony Joshua? Did he make that fight? Absolutely not. He did not want Anthony Joshua to get ruined by a guy that can technically make you look like a fool. I mean, what he did to Bryant Jennings, someone that really wants to fight on the inside, he took all that away from him and made him look real poor in the ring. He made him look like a poor man's, Sean Porter. And man, Luis Ortiz has been ducked for too long. And credit to Deontay Wilder. For all you Ortiz fans that are predicting Luis Ortiz to knock Wilder out, you cannot deny the fact that this fight would not be happening if Wilder did not pursue the challenge of facing a Luis Ortiz. That's real, man. That's absolutely real. Deontay Wilder might be the only heavyweight who wanted to go in there and square off against the man they call King Kong. So, if you don't believe me, man, I got the proof right here. Eat King Fight News. Y'all know what it is. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna keep that ball rolling. I'm gonna keep things moving, man. I'll see you on the next one. Eat King Fight.